Saber, level 24 upgrade. So at this point, I can finally say that the Backslash conversion is finally done with. I got the body, I got the tires, everything, even the wing. This RC is looking great. However, there are plenty of upgrades still left to do. So what I'm going to install today is RPM's front shock tower. Since the whole front is pretty much exposed, yeah, I want to go ahead and start reinforcing it. And this is a good start. So let's go ahead and get this installed. First thing I need to do is remove each screw that holds in the top of each shock to the shock tower. Before I move on, I need to take care of the sway bar because it's kind of in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and undo the 2 screws that hold it down to the chassis, and then I'm going to undo this screw that holds it down to the A-arm. Now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect each one of the links that's held in with a screw. All that's left is to remove these 4 screws that hold it to the front diff housing. Now in order to take it off, all I have to do is pull straight up. And of course we get stickers and the shock tower itself. And you can see when I compare it to the stock one, this one's just way meatier. And it's going to take a lot more blows in order to break this thing. So before I slide in the new one, I'm going to go ahead and transfer these 2 screws over. And in case you're wondering, these screws really aren't for anything. If you have the Slash 4x4, it helps you put on a body mount. But since I don't use that, I just put the screws in there to keep grime from going into the holes. So in order to put this in, all I have to do is line it up, slide it down, and then reinstall the 4 screws that hold it in place. Next up, I need to reattach the links. I'm just going to attach them to the same holes as they were before, the inner bottom one. Then I'm going to get the sway bar, swing that back around, and reinstall it to the A-arm as well as the chassis. Final step, I need to go ahead and reattach the shocks. And just like with the top of the links, I'm just going to put them to the same holes before, the outside hole. Here's before, and here is after. Looks pretty good, honestly. And I have to say, I feel a lot more comfortable driving this thing around since it doesn't really have a front bumper. Perhaps one day I'll figure out how to do more protection for this because it's kind of vulnerable having all this out in the front of it. But for now, it'll have to do. And before I end this video, I have to give a huge shout out to everyone who's helped me on Patreon. Because of you guys, this upgrade was possible. Thank you. And that was a level 24 upgrade for Saber.